Nestled in the Yorkshire countryside sits a future industrial powerhouse, a brownfield site eager to reclaim its former glory as an economic driver in the area. I'm Julia Hatmaker, journalist at Place North, and join me as we go on a behind-the-scenes tour of Gascoigne Interchange. Developer Harworth is set to transform the 185-acre Gascoigne Interchange site into a modern industrial estate. I spoke with Harworth Chief Operating Officer Andrew Blackshaw to learn more.
So Gascoigne Interchange is probably one of our biggest and most important regeneration opportunities within the Harworth portfolio. We have here a site that extends to over 250 acres. We have a planning consent already for 77 acres of those, which comprises about 1,450,000 square feet of employment and logistics space. We're also immediately adjacent and own and control 22 acres of southern sidings, which is unique at the moment in the UK in terms of its ability to connect to both the north and the south, the coastal ports of Hull and of Harwich, and provides a unique opportunity for either manufacturers or occupiers to take advantage of the great transport connectivity and rail connected uses that the Gascoigne Interchange affords.
Now, obviously, by encouraging more freight and rail, that's already got a sustainability credential there because we're encouraging more zero carbon transport, or at least less carbon than a car. What would you say are other ways that you guys are tackling sustainability in this project?
Well, I think there's a sustainability for the community as well. So this facility, which was part of the Selby super pit, previously employed 4,000 people. Currently across the wider sites, there's probably only about 300 jobs. So in terms of supporting the local economy, the local communities with vibrance and quality of jobs, and the activation of this site from a social perspective will sustain this part of North Yorkshire, and actually has the potential to drive more than just North Yorkshire. It becomes a regional hub.
Given Gascoigne Interchange's potential for Yorkshire, our tour was joined by Keir Mather MP and David Skaith, the Mayor of York and North Yorkshire. I spoke to both about what a project like this means for the area.
Even though this site hasn't been operational for decades now, the structure of it is still there to ramp back up and get back to being a thriving industrial hub once again. I think it just goes to show that in this part of North Yorkshire, we know how to make large-scale enterprises like this work. We know how to create those jobs of the future and really power industry in this country. We just need to be given the tools to make it a reality. And it'd be really interesting to see what the potential is to have this site revived.
So we have huge ambitions in our area. For a long time we've been known as the nice place, the pretty place. We do a lot of leisure, tourism, hospitality, which is fantastic, and we will continue to do that. But we know we have huge growth potentials around agriculture, biotech, rail and manufacturing in particular. Those are sort of jobs and industries and businesses that could come into places like this. So having this right on our doorstep, creating new jobs, bringing new industry here is going to be incredibly important to our growth plans that we want to push forward over the next 5, 10, 15 years. We're not working in competition, we want to work collectively, we want to be working openly. This is how we're going to develop sites like this. We can't do it alone, and the private sector can't do it alone. If we can work together, then we can achieve great things in our region.
I wanted to learn more about the challenges and opportunities faced in the project, so I had a chat with Harworth's Chris Davidson, Regional Director for Yorkshire and Central. Just kind of looking at this site, how does this project compare to the other projects that Harworth has been up to? Because you guys do so much around the country.
Yeah, so you could say it's a typical Harworth site in that it's a challenging site. It's potentially a site that a lot of people wouldn't be interested in developing because of the amount of enabling works that you have to do. However, this wasn't a mine. As in, it's not a deep mine, it's not contaminated, there's just a lot of concrete. So we would, effectively cut and fill the site and crush all the concrete. So from a sustainability angle, we will reuse all that concrete on the site. But actually, this is bread and butter for us as a business, Harworth. We deal with very difficult sites, so open cast sites, deep mines, brownfield regeneration is exactly what we do. So this, whilst challenging, is not actually as challenging as what we've done across our portfolio. So it's bread and butter for us. It's where it's our specialism.
What is your number one favourite aspect of this site?
It's rail connection.
Okay.
Because it's so significant for the region. The opportunity as to what we can do with the rail is absolutely fantastic. Whether it be serving occupiers that want to come to the site, or it may be in line with decarbonisation of transport and moving freight up the country by rail from the ports down south. We've got the ability to bring in the longest trains into these sidings, so massive opportunity on the rail, and it's just a very exciting site by virtue of its scale. And also, with a bit of blue sky thinking, actually, there's potential to do something far larger with land which we own to the north, and that is in connecting this site up with Sherburn 1 and Sherburn 2, and potentially connecting up the rail as well, so that offering the opportunity for those existing developments to use the rail here and export their goods or import materials, for example. So the opportunity for North Yorkshire is massive.
That's great. And I have to say, today is a perfect day for blue sky thinking. It has been a glorious day today at Gascoigne Interchange, and hearing what makes this project and site so special from local MPs as well as the Mayor of York and North Yorkshire, and obviously Harworth themselves. If you want to know more about what's going on with Harworth, check out harworthgroup.com. And if you want to know more about what's happening with the built environment in Yorkshire, check out placeyorkshire.co.uk. I'm Julia Hatmaker. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a great rest of your day.